Garter stitch is achieved by knitting alternating rows of purl facing and then knit facing stitches. Unfortunately, on the machine, this is a very manual process. It does take a bit of time. You can employ the use of a garter bar, but that's a separate lesson. I'm making this sample just in the middle of knitting just to demonstrate technique, but it could be applied all over the knitting. It'll just take some time. So each stitch is reformed. I put the tool into the stitch below, release the stitch from the needle, and then reform the stitch by drawing the float through the live stitch on the hook that's behind the latch. After the entire row has been reformed, again excluding those edge stitches, knit one row. This will stay a knit row or a purl row from the purl facing side of the work, and then knit another row that will again be reformed. This is the repeat, so it will continue this way for as long as you want to knit garter stitch. There are other ways that you can achieve the same stitch by using a garter bar, which is, you can think of it as a giant transfer tool that has many prongs on it, which you can use to then turn over the work, knit a row by machine, pick it off the machine again, turn the work again, knit another row. But this also takes time and takes some skill and mastering. Depending on the application, I'm usually prone to work this by hand. You could also work this double bed, but then you're switching back and forth, transferring stitches from the main bed to the river, knitting a row, transferring back, knitting a row, and then keep bouncing back and forth. Still very manual. Arguably the same time it would take for you to reform. But in time, you can get pretty quick with the transfer tool. But patience is definitely needed to work this stitch. Ironically, this is the easiest stitch to knit by hand and the most time-consuming by machine.